Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. I'm here with Luke. What's going on, Luke?
What's going on, man? Doing awesome.
Alright, that looks good. Today, we're just gonna be talking about random things about roller coasters, theme parks, all that stuff. Starting with, Tutadis at Park Asterix has, tested. I think it was about 6 days ago when it tested. It looks pretty good, though, holding back on the top hat. It does seem to slow the train down a little bit. But what are your opinions on it, Luke?
And it looks awesome with, 167-foot top hat. Can't get any better than that. 66 miles an hour. Awesome. It was at the IAPA in Orlando in 2018. And 5 years later, it is finally opening here in 2023. It'll be a good part for It'll be a good thing for Park Streaks.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And what you were saying about how it was at IAPA in 2018, there's another thing that goes with that. Tron in 2017 was announced, and it has just had its cast member opening. A bunch of people got to ride it. It looks almost identical to the Shanghai Disney Tron. It looks like a really good ride. The motorbike feature is pretty cool. What do you think about it?
So for my personal experience, I personally went to Disney in 2019. I was able to see it being built. It was just breaking ground. The station was just being built, no track or anything, just the outside and everything was just being built. It looks awesome. And Vekoma did an awesome job on this one. They nailed it on the head. Great job.
Yeah, I agree there. Disney definitely needed a higher thrill experience. But back to
Not just
two.
some of those like Thunder Mountain Railroad. You need something more for like the bigger kids.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think
Definitely.
Haunted Mansion's gonna cut that.
Nah.
um. Anyway, so back to Two Tatis, or however you pronounce it. I hope they do a really good job on the theming. By the
hmm
animation, I think we got a couple years back. It looked to be really good. I'm looking up on RCDB here. The the theme to this looks incredible. Like the station, if you look at the pictures here, the station looks really nice. Um, the whole ride in general just looks pretty good.
hmm
It the reverse launch actually looks pretty forceful too. I just
It's
realized
a
this.
quad launch, so you're
Quad?
gonna get high thrills there.
Quad, really? Uh, I
Quad
didn't know
launch.
that. My bad.
Uh,
Anyway, I just saw on RCDB here. It seems to be opening April 8th of this year.
that's very close.
Definitely,
Coming
that
up
is a
quick.
lot closer than it seems.
hmm
Definitely, that is going to be exciting for you enthusiasts in France. That is definitely going to be exciting for you guys. I'm definitely jealous.
Yeah.
Because I wish we had something like Tutatis in the United States here. But anyways, so theme park trips for this year. Right now, me and Luke are trying to plan a trip to Cedar Point and Kings Island. We would both be really excited to go there, and if we go there, what is the number one thing you're looking forward to, Luke?
Steve!
Yeah, I agree there. Definitely looking forward to Maverick too. Almost got on it in 2018, but we got out of line right when we were in the station, and it went up 15 minutes later. So kind of bummed about that still. But
And a very underrated coaster, I believe, at Cedar Point, or two underrated coasters that you guys may not agree with me. But from looking at all these videos and POVs and looking online and seeing how people review these coasters are Gatekeeper and Valraven. Valraven seems very, very intense, while Gatekeeper is very graceful. It's a wing coaster, which is very unique. B&M came up with a very, very unique way to put their coasters into a very good way.
yeah, I agree there. I've never been on a wing coaster, so I'm super excited to probably get on that later this year.
Hmm.
And with Valraven, I haven't been on a dive either. But if to me it doesn't look
Yeah, I'm
that
with you there.
intense. Yeah, it doesn't look that intense. But I I'll still think that it's underrated too. Um,
It is very underrated.
the one thing I'm kind of not like I'm kind of like mixed right now is if I'll like Rougarou or I won't like Rougarou
I
because
mean,
I absolutely despise Green Lantern and that is like the same thing except Rougarou is floorless instead of a stand up. So I
it
don't
used to
know if
be a
I would like
stand-up
it.
as Mantis, but I mean, it still has the elements of a stand-up coaster, not a floorless.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would take those elements great or anything because I like Medusa at a Six Flags Great Adventure. I think
Hmm.
that's a very enjoyable ride, especially with the new color scheme, the new theme this year. I think they did a fantastic job on that. Um, and all the other rides at Cedar Point, they just look good too. But
And speaking of Cedar Point, how about Top Thrill Dragster, man? I mean, 2024. I'm
yeah,
excited.
that's gonna be a big year for Cedar Point. Especially
Yes,
with
it
the
is.
new coaster this year having most likely two roller coasters in back-to-back years.
And especially the new boardwalk themed area seems awesome.
That area looks really good. I'm excited to see that later this year, especially that new restaurant going over
Hmm.
the beach. That looks pretty nice over near where Wicked Twister used to be. That looks really nice. I did see Wicked Twister, but I didn't go on it. Um, yeah,
Unfortunately, some of the good rides at Cedar Point are now gone. Unfortunately,
yeah,
Tropical
very
Dragster,
unfortunate.
for obvious reasons, had to be taken out because unfortunately somebody got injured. So, I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
almost lost their
understand.
life to
Hmm.
a thrill, which you never ever want, never intended. It's a very sad situation when it happens. But
Very, and I'm sure, Cedar Fair is just like not gonna work with Intamin for right now. What our beliefs are that the Imperial is gonna step in and use the LSM technique to use to propel the trains forward up the 420-foot top hat. Hopefully, they can make it
yes,
happen, and it'll be even better than it was before.
yes. I don't believe that it will be better. But I mean, if they add like another element or something, like people are saying, there's a lot of speculation going around that they might add like a backward spike or something of that matter. But
Hmm.
I mean, if they even do something similar than that, then I could see it being better. But for
Hmm.
now, I'm still sad that I didn't get to experience the hydraulic launch of Dragster. But, we'll probably get to experience the new Dragster.
Be really excited to try and visit back there in the next few years.
Yeah, definitely. So, Kings Island, too. What do you think of that
Yeah,
park?
man. Kings Island, I would have to say, is a very underrated Cedar Fair park. I mean, they just got a new Giga in what 2020, I believe. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
people hate it.
2020.
People are Everyone hates at it because they only put it 287 feet. I mean, but the drop is 300 feet, so it's technically a Giga. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah,
And Banshee, man,
Banshee looks
Banshee is
really
just
good.
awesome. Banshee looks awesome.
That thing looks so intense at the bottom of the first drop. I mean, it doesn't even
Yeah.
reach the max speed until after that first dive loop. And
Mhm.
then the vertical loop over the lift hill. I'm just weirded out by the vest restraints because I think it's kind of weird how B&M after Banshee just kind of went away from the vest restraints with like Monster at Grunaland and other rides. I don't know what other B&M inverts haven't been built after then. But I just
Mhm.
think it's kind of weird that they just went one ride with the vest and then like went back to the over the shoulder classic restraints. I just think
Mhm.
that's weird. Maybe it got bad publicity because people just do say it tightens a lot. So I'm just kind of curious to, see what it is. And
Mhm.
Diamondback getting a repaint this off
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, it's gonna look fresh.
A lot
Fresh
fresh.
for the first time probably since 2009 when it opened.
Yeah, definitely gonna look a lot more fresh. The red
Mhm.
seems to be a lot darker. I think they're adding extra supports too to the first drop, I believe, at the bottom of it.
Hopefully to support that
Um,
B&M rattle because
yeah, the
I've heard a
rattlesnake
lot.
diamondback.
A lot that the rattle is just absolutely terrible. It like rattles you around a little bit, but
Yeah, it's probably just because of those B&M staggered seating hypers. Because I've heard that
hmm
Canada's Wonderland's Behemoth also had the same
hmm
thing, and that's another staggered seating. But I have been on Intimidator at Carowinds, and that doesn't have the same problem. So I guess it just depends on which one. I guess how like cold the weather is maybe in that specific
hmm
area. Cause Shambhala at Portaventura, people say is like glossy smooth, but I really don't know about that. Um,
hmm
Getting off of the topic of our trip in the summer, uh, great adventure actually. Nitro getting a fourth train.
yeah,
That is
it's huge
they'll be
for
able to run three
operations.
trains. Definitely. When I've been to Great Adventure this year, they haven't even really ran two trains on Nitro. Like if you've been to Great Adventure, I know me and you went back in I believe early September. If you've been to
Yeah,
Great Adventure this year, you know that it hasn't been crowded like at all. I don't know about Fright
it's kind of
Fest.
been slow.
Definitely been slow. I hope this is a good year for Six Flags. Considering they just lowered their season passes, for Great Adventure and some other Six Flags parks. I know that Great America and I believe St. Louis still are the same, but I know the rest of the Six Flags parks, besides Magic Mountain, have like $150 for their Diamond member pass when it used to be like 200 something.
Yeah, and plus you gotta pay tax. So I mean, depends on just which state it's in. If you're in California, you're in New Jersey. I mean, anywhere. Just
Yeah,
have
it
to
really
depends on
depends.
taxes.
It definitely depends. Um, and Green Lantern also being closed for extended maintenance.
hmm
Um, that's kind of upsetting for Holiday in the Park, but I get it. It's a stand up. You can't really do much about that. Stand ups definitely
I
need a lot more
mean,
maintenance.
I
Um,
mean, this is maybe just like I'm thinking too far, but maybe they're thinking about turning it into a floorless coaster.
have two floorlesses in one park? I mean, that'd
It
be
would be
pretty
it would be kind of
bold.
weird, but I could see why they would keep it as a stand up.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm just thinking like far ahead of the road,
yeah,
but
far
probably
ahead.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
Um, I would be more intrigued if they got um something in the similar style to the underground at Magic Mountain near West Coast Racers. Got that over near the Medusa area and got rid of the log flume and stuff because that's pretty old. Plus the River Rapids is better anyway. So I mean I'd be interested if they got rid of the log flume, see what they would do with that area.
hmm
I think that they could use a couple things like a good launch coasters, considering Kinderka is their only launch coaster at this time of recording. Um,
and
Good.
does Great Adventure even have a single premiere?
I No, they don't. They don't have a premiere. I could see them also going with like a SNS launch coaster like Max Force, but considering the
hmm
problems that thing has, so I don't really consider them doing that. But it's definitely possible.
Definitely, 100%.
And also outside of the U.S., I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Um, I forget what the name is, but Thorpe
Nemesis?
Park. Project Exodus at Thorpe Park. The I believe Mach Hyper, the tallest in the UK. That thing looks really good. It looks really nice. Yeah, it is Mach Rides. It's opening in 2024. Um, I believe pass holders.
236 feet too.
Yeah,
Pretty tall.
236 feet. That is a good height. Tallest in the UK. I mean, they'll have the most inversions on a coaster, obviously with the Smiler. Merlin's really just like owning the UK. If I'm being
Hmm.
honest, Merlin is just, they're doing really good right now. Is there anything else we really want to touch on?
I mean, I don't know if this is for sure, but I don't know if you heard about the Nemesis repaint and how it's changing its color scheme.
Oh yeah, the Nemesis closing and repaint. Um,
Isn't it turning like black now?
yeah, I think it's somewhat black. Some photos I believe were leaked on Twitter and Instagram and stuff of a field in I believe Ohio where there was some track of B&M invert, what people to believe is a Nemesis track. Which by the way, that track and area is like completely like the track is completely gone, and I'm just excited to see what they do with it. It's not like I'll ever make it out to the UK anytime soon, but
Hmm.
you know, it's definitely something to look forward to if you're an enthusiast in the UK. Definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, 100%.
But touching up on some more park plans for this year. I know that me and Luca are trying to go to a couple this year. Like we might go to, as we mentioned before, Cedar Point, Kings Island. Um, we're gonna try to get
Hopefully,
to
trying to get the Nickelodeon universe.
definitely trying to
Trying to
get to
ride
Nickelodeon
TMNT
Universe,
Shellraiser.
Shellraiser,
Trying to ride.
Blasting Bronco.
Hmm.
Honestly, Nickelodeon Slime Shriek. That looks
Yeah, I mean,
decent.
gotta get all those credits when you can.
Yep, credits, credits, credit. Um, Speaking of which, oh yeah, never mind. We're also trying to get to Great Adventure, I believe, with our other
That's like
friend.
that's just like probably a yearly thing that we're probably gonna do now, or twice a year thing.
Yeah, something like that. Because Great Adventure is not. It's a good park, and it is not extremely far. Other like some other parks.
Like Magic Mountain.
Yeah, Magic Mountain. Um, Yeah, Great Adventure is a fantastic park, but more park plans for me. I don't know if Luke has any other ones. Do you have any other ones?
Maybe try and get out to Six Flags America one more time.
I
Maybe
have Six
just to
Flags
like
America.
marathon Superman and Joker's Jinx. Probably because Firebird.
Give
I mean,
Batwing another chance.
maybe give Batwing another chance. Kind of made me a
Batwing
little bit
is
nauseous,
good.
but
Trust me, Batwing is good. Batwing
yeah.
is good. You just have to do it in the back row. In the front row, it is terrible, but in the back row, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Firebird is just a bust. I mean, you can't do anything about that.
I mean, it was the first B&M, so you gotta give him some slack. Even
Yeah.
GCI messed up with Wildcat, which is now turning into Wildcat's Revenge. Let's touch on that for a minute. Completely
Yeah.
forgot about that for a second. Wildcat's Revenge. That ride looks fantastic.
I mean,
Um,
isn't it 4 inversions, right?
yep, foreign version, so tied for the most in the
140 feet
U.S.
tall, something like that. Awesome, awesome, awesome
Yeah, I think
sauce.
it's like 140, 150. Yeah, the wave turn looks nice. The step up under, the world's largest step up under flip. Uh,
RMC is
it's gotta be
always
the world's
breaking the
largest.
records, man.
Yeah,
Like in 2018, highest, tallest hybrid
yeah, they've like
coaster,
broken that like 3 times, like tallest hybrid. I think it's
29
time.
pops of airtime on Steve.
Yeah, 29. That's a
Could
lot.
even be 30. Come on, RMC.
Yeah, like couldn't be 30. Could not be 30. That's crazy. Um. Anyway, 3 trains on Wildcat's Revenge too. A
Custom
load
made
and
too.
unload station. That's gonna be insane because if you look in the animation, it does look like there is double-sided lockers. If you look at this one angle from the load and unload station, if I have the picture on my screen right now, but if you look at this one angle, looks like you enter on the right side. You off the left, you get your stuff from the double-sided locker. You go back out and around, but That would be cool if they added double-sided lockers, because I believe Hershey doesn't have anything like that right now. That would be pretty cool. It also looks like the queue goes pretty close to the ride, so that would be cool to get some shots of the ride during the queue, because there's double-sided lockers where you can put your stuff in, and where you can put some bags in and stuff, have your phone the entire ride, in the entire line, and all that stuff on like the Hulk at Universal or something. But
And then
that'd be
hopefully I
pretty
was
cool.
thinking, another thing I was thinking about is maybe like me and you, like we could actually make a trip up to Hershey and get like we can have a vlog day here and just have a fun day here there
Yeah.
at Hershey.
Yeah. So I haven't told any my subscribers this, but I am going to be starting a vlog. Starting with my first trip of the year, which back to my trips is going to be Carowinds. I am going in March. It's in about a month at the time of recording. Then we're also gonna try to hit, I believe, Nickelodeon Universe in March, but that's not a definite. Then I think we're gonna try to hit Great Adventure in sometime in April. Then I believe Hershey in late May. Hopefully Wildcats Adventures are open. But can't really control that time because we're going with a group of people and we have to work around everyone's schedule. But and then I believe maybe like I'm trying to go to, I believe, Great Escape. Probably Six Flags New England, maybe Six Flags America. Then I know Cedar Point and Kings Island. Then I believe I might try to hit King's Dominion. And I believe that might be it. It's gonna be a lot of repeats this year, but I don't have a lot of credits from the places, and I know Luke doesn't have a lot of the credits either.
No, I do not.
Yes. So yeah, while we were on the topic of Wildcats Revenge, let's talk about another RMC that's opening this year. Air Force One.
Oh man, yeah.
Opening March 3rd. Less than a
That's
month.
from the time we're recording too. I
Yes,
mean
from the
that's
time of
really
recording.
close.
This thing looks incredible. Like,
I
if
mean,
I'm being honest.
Fun Spot Atlanta, man. They went all out for this one.
Like, who even knew
Honestly.
about Fun Spot Atlanta before this ride was announced? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think
Like
many
nobody
people...
cared.
Yeah, like, no one cared about Fun Spot Atlanta until this ride was announced. Like, I honestly didn't even know about Fun Spot Atlanta until this ride was announced.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I mean, it was delayed a year, but, it's still really cool how it's, opening this year. And how they also decided to go with 4 inversions on this one. With the longest stall in America, beating Goliath at Six Flags here in America.
Yeah.
And the
Hey.
chili dip. The chili dip. Love the chili dip.
How about RMC breaking their own record?
I know, right? Again. Like we were talking about before. Breaking their own record. And it's going to have 5 cars instead of 6.
Different.
Definitely different. That's one way to put it. Different.
Costs a lot of money too, man. 13 mil.
13? That's not terrible for what you're getting, if I'm being honest. Like, if you're getting, like, Air Force One, you're getting Air Force One for, like, 15 million, but, like, that's still a lot of money, especially, like, in the coaster world and the theme park industry. But it's not as much as, like, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, that was, what, 500 million? And I think Hagrid's was 300 million, if I'm correct. Guardians of the Galaxy is 8 trains? That's a lot of trains. This thing looks amazing, though.
They even got this up quicker than they did Tron.
Tron, yeah. They did. I'm super excited to maybe even ride this one day.
Yeah.
I think I might go to Florida in 2024, so kind of looking forward to that if we end up going. Well, if my family ends up going. I might be able to get.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm thinking about trying to get to SeaWorld this year. I mean,
SeaWorld?
hopefully I can ride Icebreaker and hopefully try the new Pipeline coaster.
Or
Pipeline,
or instead, how about maybe Busch Gardens hitting Iron Gwazi?
Busch Gardens is an absolute banger of a park with the new Iron Gwazi.
I know. I wish I was there. 5 years after I went there. Cause I literally saw Gwazi. We were like, "Huh, wonder how we get to that ride." But we didn't know it wasn't open because I was still a very GP at the time. Well, I remember we just got off of Kumba and the Sky Ride was still open. We went on the Sky Ride, and then we saw Gwazi, and I remember I didn't go on Montu because I was too scared of Montu, but I went on Kumba.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember my dad and my sister went on Shikra. Me and my mom stood off to the side. I remember getting splashed and soaked from the splashdown. Yeah, we went even before Tigress was open.
Really?
So I didn't even know what I didn't even know anything back then. But Busch Gardens Tampa was still a really good park too. And for being that young, I took some pretty good pictures. Like,
Really?
I'm looking back at some of these pictures, and they're pretty good. Like, for being that young, that was, like, a really good picture.
Mhm.
So, yeah, is
Yeah.
there anything else we want to touch on here?
I mean, really, not that I can think of. I mean, just like an awesome year coming up here this year and next year.
Yeah.
Just awesome. Just excited for everything here.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Yeah, but I think we touched everything, and I think we just did everything we could. And I mean, if we get more news, I mean, we definitely have to do another one of these.
oh. One more thing before we go. I want to talk about one more thing. Gotham City Escape at Park Warner Madrid.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot about that. That thing looks absolutely incredible. Like,
Yeah.
it literally is Europe's Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
I hope they do some good theming on that too. I mean, the theme itself, I mean, we all know, like, Six Flags, they have that theme too,
Hmm.
but their theming is definitely on the weaker side.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that could be the number one coaster opening this year, even over Tutatis at Parc Asterix and
Hmm.
Tron that just opened. Maybe even Airy Force 1 and Wildcat's Revenge. Like, that thing looks that good.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely insane. It, honestly, if I'm being honest, it could be, better than Velocicoaster. If I'm being completely honest. Like, yes, the theming, but still, that thing, like, it goes over pathways. It's like the center
Intamin.
stone of
Is
the
this an
park.
Intamin masterpiece?
I think it's an intimate masterpiece. My one thing is if it has the same rattle that Velocicoaster does, then I don't
Yeah.
know if it would be as good as it could be otherwise. But yeah, that was just one last thing I wanted to touch on.
And I just remember one thing. How about Mindbender closing in the West Edmonton Mall?
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Mindbender at Galaxyland is gone at the West Edmonton Mall in Canada.
Schwarzkopf, they nailed it on the head, man. stay along for a while, but I mean,
Yeah, I
gotta
mean,
say goodbye sometimes.
yeah, this thing looked absolutely incredible. The pacing looked fantastic. I mean, but when you're gearing more towards like families and stuff, you don't want to have like a massive Schwarzkopf looper in the middle of the park that is like takes up so much space. And when you have an indoor park, its space is very limited. It's so hard to expand. So
Hmm.
I get why they did it. I mean, enthusiasts aren't going to be happy about it, but I completely understand Galaxyland's decision to put more family rides in rather than just keep Mindbender, especially if it was going to cost a lot to maintain. I completely understand, especially since Schwarzkopf is out of business.
Yeah, they're defunct.
Yeah, so I think that's going to about wrap up this episode here. On what are we calling this series? It's just like a podcast or something talking about random roller coaster stuff and
Yeah.
other things
Podcast
like
number
that.
1.
Yeah, number one. We're gonna try to do this maybe every month, maybe every week. I don't really know, but
Probably not every week. I mean, you're not
yeah,
gonna
maybe
get news about.
every other maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
There's not gonna be a ton of stuff that happens every single week, but this was just a lot. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate this episode here, and we'll see you guys next time.